The air in southern Thailand is thick with the scent of salt and decaying leaves. I had heard the whispers about a peculiar tradition on a remote island, a place where the jungle clung to limestone cliffs like a living shroud. Locals warned me in hushed tones, their eyes darting towards the dense foliage. They spoke of dolls and mutilated, broken dolls hanging from the branches of ancient trees. Their glass eyes were gone, their limbs twisted at unnatural angles, their painted smiles forever frozen in a silent scream. The legend was simple yet chilling. If you left your own doll, a cherished keepsake from childhood, beneath those dangling figures, it would not be there in the morning. Instead, it would appear on your doorstep, waiting. The story clawed at my curiosity, a macabre challenge I could not resist. I bought a simple rag doll from a market stall, its stitched face innocent and clean, and took a boat to the island as the sun bled into the Andaman Sea. The pathway to the grove was a tunnel of green, the canopy so thick it choked out the moonlight. The air grew cold, and the buzzing of insects seemed to stop the moment I stepped onto the sacred ground. There they were, cimdas of dolls, swaying gently on frayed ropes. Some were missing heads, others had their cloth bodies torn and stuffed with moss. A porcelain doll stared at me with empty eye sockets, its tiny dress stained with dark red, like old blood. My heart pounded against my ribs, but I forced myself to complete the ritual. I knelt, my knees pressing into the damp soil, and placed my simple rag doll at the base of a tree where the shadows were deepest. As I turned to run, I could have sworn I felt a tiny hand brush against my ankle. I did not look back. I fled through the jungle, the sound of my own panicked breath drowning out the rustling leaves. The boat ride back to the mainland was silent, the stars above seeming to mock my fear. I spent a sleepless night in my rented bungalow, the tropical heat suffocating. At 2 a.m, a sharp knock echoed through the room. I froze, the sound cutting through the stillness like a knife. Another knock, 3 louder, this time more insistent. My legs moved on their own, carrying me to the door. My hand trembled as I reached for the handle. When I opened it, the humid night air rushed in, but the porch was empty, nothing. I was about to dismiss it as a figment of my exhaustion when I looked down. There, on the welcome mat, sat my rag doll, but it was no longer innocent. Its stitched smile had been ripped wide open into a grotesque, silent shriek. One button eye was missing, the other hanging by a thread, staring up at me with an accusation that chilled my blood, and in its tiny, stitched hands it clutched a lock of my own hair. The horror did not end there. I tried to throw the doll away, to burn it, but it always returned. Each morning, I would find it in a different place, seat on my pillow, in my suitcase, once even inside my refrigerator, its tiny body smeared with frost. Its presence seeped into my dreams, where I would see it crawling through the jungle, its broken legs dragging behind it, searching for me. The island's legend had tied us together, a cursed fetter I could not break. Finally, in a state of frantic desperation, I sailed back. I found the grove under the gray dawn light, and I hung the doll back among its mutilated companions. I whispered an apology to the silent, swaying figures. As I left, I felt a cold, tiny hand grip my wrist. I did not run this time. I turned slowly and saw the rag doll's one remaining eye fixed on mine, its mouth moving silently, forming words only the jungle could hear. On my doorstep that night, waiting for me, was a single fresh leaf from the island and a note written in thread. "You have not escaped. We are not finished.